Hi, what's up everyone, to another video, Full Speed Impulse. Today we're starting the build on the Yz125 1988. So first things first, we gotta see what's even wrong with this thing. So video one, day one, we're gonna be working on figuring out what's actually wrong with this thing so we can start ordering up parts. Because I don't think we're going to be that lucky to where we don't have to order up any parts. So main thing is first is spark, and then we'll probably be testing compression. It being a two-stroke, all the fingers point towards it being a top end, whooped, no compression, blah, 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 blah. But you never know with these older bikes. I think with the 1988, they might have a point setup. I honestly haven't even looked yet, but we're just going to get at this thing, start figuring stuff out, figuring out what could be wrong with this thing, and then move on from that point to where we can get it fixed and get this bike ripping. So let's get at it. So first things first, guys, we already got the spark plug off, have not tested yet. We're gonna do the Kickstarter, see if we got any spark. Got good spark. Okay, well, that would have been the easy, it not having spark and maybe there being a point setup or something like that. Not the case. Happened to have a little two-stroke fuel here from our RC car, already pre-mixed in this Gatorade bottle. So we're gonna find a way to dabble a little bit into that spark plug hole and see what happens. What? Dude, she just did something. All right, guys, we're too impatient. We got here, it's our fuel injector, big old hole, probably more for a 500. We're going to spray that down into the carb area. And then we're going to try to get a little bit into our cylinder in here, and we're going to button it back up and see if we can get the fire. And then we'll spray fuel down that air box and try to keep it running. If we get it running. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Alright, so a little trick we've done back in the day. It's a little air down the carb. What do you fuel, air, and spark to make combustion? Well, we got spark, we know that. We know we got plenty of fuel in there now. A little air should help it on its way. We dial down the compressor so we don't have as much air going in there. The trick is doing this while kickstarting it. All right, guys, we're doing the next test here, compression test. And what you're gonna want to do is you actually hold the throttle wide open when you're doing your kicking and all that. And we're gonna just see what we can get this up to. If we can get it up to at least 120, then I will say that we will hook up some fuel to the carb and see if we can still get this thing to fire. Anything under 100, and it's just not gonna be enough compression to get this thing started. Well, guys, I think this is where the video ends because I don't really know how that's possible. Oops. But we were 30 PSI maybe. You're supposed to be up here in 150 to like 175 range on a Yz125. So even someone was talking about at 95, that was still too low. So we are way under that. I don't even know how this bike ran for the amount of time. I don't know if some I don't know if like fuel wasn't mixed correctly or something, but to smoke the rings that quick, normally you would go, you know, get down to the 100 and your bike would start giving you problems and all that. But to run the bike to where it has that little compression is insane. So that pretty much ends today's video, because what we're going to have to do, the bare minimum, is order up a piston and some rings, and maybe we could hone this jug here and get it running, and then test our compression then, and hopefully it's good. So we're going to order up those parts, guys, and then make sure you guys stay tuned for that next video coming, because we'll be doing a new piston, rings, and then we'll get that carburetor all dialed in. Probably have to clean that thing out because it's been sitting for a while, and then hopefully get a fire up on this thing. Then we can move on to just making this bike look good. So I appreciate you guys watching, and you know the deal. Until next time, we'll see you later.